So last night I had promised everybody on my Facebook and everybody that follows the Life Repair Gene Gainer page that I was going to post something that I was really excited about. I actually was working last night, a second job, working at a bar. I do security now and then, and I got to work with. There was a national artist there, and I got to spend a little bit of time with him and his name's Glenn Templeton, by the way. Check him out, like his page. Awesome guy, and good music. I like older style country, and he was all acoustic. Really good stuff. Anyways, so I spent some time with him, and three things kept occurring to me. And I kind of alluded to this on my Facebook, but humbleness, passion, and compassion. And these are things that I think we all need to spend more time focusing on in our own lives. And it was really shown through with Glenn. I was so impressed with the man. First off, well, we'll get back to being humble. But I'm going to start with his passion. From the moment he stepped on stage, it was unlike most of the artists that come through. You know, I've worked at bigger club venues and smaller venues, and a lot of times they're there just to make their money, to and they do have fun, but the passion just doesn't seem to be as strong in them. As he was up there, you could tell he had a passion for not only the music, but for reaching out to people to bring happiness into their lives, which to me was just something so impressive. He's following his passion and able to bring light to other people, to shine that light, and I was just so impressed. But anyways, yeah, I think it's very important that we follow our passions. I'm not saying that everybody's going to become a professional at whatever it is you love, but sometimes we lose sight of what we do love, and the everyday work, and just our time is consumed with whatever, and I know it's not easy for everyone just to put everything down and do what it is that you love so much, but we need to find that passion and start getting back to our roots. But anyways, secondly, compassion. After the show, this man who played till midnight, and by the way, drives his own bus and does all the work himself, takes down all of his own equipment, and this goes back to the humbleness. We'll get back to that in a moment. But anyways, as people were going and talking to this man, he was not, and I'm not saying that all artists are this way, but a lot of times I've watched, and they're like, okay, we'll do a meet and a greet, but it's going to be, take a picture, get out of my way. This guy showed compassion. When people were telling him their stories, he was involved. You could see that he was really trying to take in what they were saying and give advice back. And I was just really impressed with that. So a lot of this post is me giving a shout out to Glenn, and I hope he's okay with that. But anyways, so I took that away, and I realized, you know what? I don't show enough compassion. And a lot of times I just immediately think the worst of people, because that's the environment we're in. That's the culture we have. Let's be honest. It's scary out there. I worry about my children every day, because I worry about who they're going to run into, or what situation they're going to face, whether it be in school or just in general public. But there are a lot of people that struggle with the same things that I do, the anxiety, the depression, and if we show them compassion, if we show that there is still people that care, we give them a reason to go on for tomorrow. I always say, find something positive, latch onto it. Well, you could be that positivity for somebody else just by showing a little bit of compassion. And I'm kind of skipping around. I had every intention of trying to stay on track, but let's get to the third point: humbleness. Um, After the show and after the meet and greet, people were still trying to kind of stand around and talk to Mr. Templeton, and you know, it was my job and the other security's job to kind of help him get done so he could get on the road. I mean, this man's a busy, busy man. He's going on to his next show. He's got a lot to do. He's got to drive himself. It's already midnight. So we started kind of moving people out, and you could tell he was thankful for that. And he didn't just act like, oh, I'm a big star and you need to do what you need to do and get everybody out of my way. No, he was very thankful and very polite and very, very kind to everybody as we were doing this. And he went up on stage and started taking down his equipment, and I chose to go ahead and stand on the stage because people were still trying to kind of crowd him, and I was letting them know, hey, this guy's got a job to do too. He needs to go. He's been at this all night, and I'm sure he drove a long way to get there. And I looked at him and I said, do you have any help? Do you need some help? And he said, no, that's okay. He said, I'm used to doing this. I know where everything goes, and I got this. And I said, I was so impressed with the way that you handle the people and the way that you compose yourself. And he said, look, he said, it's what I'm here for. It's my purpose. And I thought, this guy could be asking for kudos and for people to just talk about how amazing he is, and he was so humble about it. He was just happy to be there and happy to help people and happy to speak to people and didn't ask for help, and he just, we've got to humble ourselves. We've got to humble ourselves, and stop thinking me, and start living for others. And when he got all done, he did say, hey, can you follow me out there? Help me, load some stuff into the bus. I said, well, yeah, I'll pick something up. So he told me to pick up a couple cases. I followed him out, and he actually sat and started talking to me. And as we were loading things up, I told him, I said, I'm really impressed with how you handle things, how you're humble. And again, he said, hey, it's what I love. I get to follow my passion. I get to do what I love and help other people. And he was just so polite. And I just couldn't stop thinking about how impressed I was with how he handles himself when I've dealt with these prima donnas that, aren't even national acts. They're from the city and have 100 fans and think that they're special. And this guy is a national act with a lot of followers that just never once gave me an inkling that he thought he was better than anybody else. In fact, instead of waiting for me to tell him how great he was complimenting not only the bar and the owner and how great he was to deal with, but he was complimenting myself and how I handled things. Said it was great how it was done, and he was really impressed with me. And I and I'm just some lowly security guard trying to do my job, doing it the way I'm supposed to do it. But anyways, I took from that, and I've always been the type, I try to soak in anything, any type of wisdom that I see in someone else, or any type of action that they show. If you can make a difference in my life, and he didn't know. I didn't tell him, hey, here lately I've been struggling so bad with just life in general, and my anxiety and my depression, and fighting every day and trying to figure out how I'm going to make it. And but yet he still showed that compassion, and he still spent the time talking to me, some guy who's just there to watch his back, to help him load things up. And instead of treating me like the help, he treated me like a friend, and he was so just wonderful. I was just really impressed. So guys, if you haven't already, if you don't know who he is, first off, again, great music. Uh, go like him on Facebook. Follow him. Glenn Templeton, wonderful, a wonderful artist and an even better person. And I think you'll be very impressed. But anyways, all that aside, guys, again, 3 points. Be humble, be passionate, and be compassionate. You know, if you're humble while following your passions, you know, people take note. And if you show compassion for their issues and don't make it all about yourself, even if it's something that you have done a great job with, and you know what you're doing and you're wonderful at it. If you show compassion and show that you care about what they're going through, you're going to make a difference. You're going to make a difference in their life. I've been happy all day, been excited to share this, and all night last night, because one person showed me 3 things that you don't often see nowadays. So we have to change that culture. We have to turn this around. We have to make ourselves available for others. So let's work on that. Let's you know, and I'm going to work on that myself. And the more that I show these things, I know the more it's going to help me with my own issues. Because I'll tell you what, when I see somebody smile because I give them a compliment, just like he smiled when I told him, you know, how impressed I was with how he handled himself, it made me feel good. And his wife was the same way. You know, I'm going to go ahead and give her a shout out as well. They ran everything on their own, by the way. You know, they didn't have merch people. She ran the merch. She stood back there the whole show and made sure that people were able to get to anything that they needed or that they wanted from the little shop, and made sure that all his business was taken care of. And again, she was very humble. I walked her back in because she had to have a meeting with the owner, and I was talking about how impressed I was with him, and she said, you know what, I've got the best. She said he's an amazing man, and basically reaffirmed everything that I was already thinking. And she was the same way. She never once said, oh, can you just hurry up and get me to talk to him? You know, I want to get this over with. I want to get out of here. She said, you know, she was fine with taking our time, and she was fine with standing there and talking to little peon me. And I was so impressed with how they handled this. But there's my little shout out to her. But again, guys, you know, I know I've repeated it. I'm going to repeat it again. Stay humble. Follow your passion. Be passionate. And be compassionate. If we do these 3 things, we are going to make a difference. But again, I always try and keep these a little bit shorter, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I'm excited to keep sharing things. I'm excited that you know, that I've got people that are actually able to see and listen and hear what I have to say. You know, and hopefully this is making a difference in someone's life and bringing some positivity to them. You know, I'm just really excited about this. So if you haven't already, also check out my blog site, whatever. It's Life Repair Gene Gainer. Like, follow, share, please. Share these videos. You know, hopefully we can reach somebody that's at their wit's end, and you know, hey guys, communicate with me. If there's anything I can do, if there's anything I can say, you know, that's going to help you make it through tomorrow when you don't think there's any making it through tomorrow, then I'm there. I can't wait. You know, I want to help carry that burden. I want to help carry the weight that's on your shoulders. But anyways, like that site for me, and also here on YouTube. If you're seeing this video, like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is, and hopefully I can keep bringing some decent things to you. I'm really excited about this video, and I hope somebody else gets excited by it too, and starts making some moves so they can help everybody around them. Anyways, as usual, find something positive, latch on to it. It'll help you get through tomorrow, and we'll see y'all soon. Thank you.